Oh, we've all had this happen to us. You've had it happen. I've had it happen. We've got a really important meeting, a really important presentation, a really important call. This is vital to us getting a deal or vital to us taking our career in the right direction. And during that meeting, that presentation or call, we never end up focusing or talking about the things that we need to cover ourselves. Somebody else takes control of the meeting. The prospect takes control. And you end up talking about a subject that's not what you need to cover. In this video right now, I'm going to show you how to politely and effectively interrupt somebody and recapture, retake control of that meeting, that presentation, or that phone call. By the way, hi, if we haven't met before, my name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University. It's the most effective sales training in the world. If you get any use out of this video, and I'm going to give you some skills right now that you can take into your next meeting to make sure that you take control. If you get any use out of this, if you like this video, please do me a favor, smash that like button and consider subscribing to this channel. I'm going to be giving you effective tips every single day that are going to help you get more done, help you have more fun, help you take control of your career. Let's talk about how to politely and effectively recapture and take control of a meeting. Here's what ends up happening. You start with the small talk, or you're right in the middle of the meeting and that prospect goes in a direction that you don't want the meeting to go. Worst case, that direction is something that has nothing to do with business at all. They're all of a sudden talking about fishing or football or the vacation that they're going to take. Or let's say they are talking about your deal, your company, the situation, but they're not on the right subject. Let's say you need to talk about training that they've had in the past and they're off talking about dashboards for 30 minutes. Here's your options typically in terms of taking control. Option number one is what most people do. You want to be respectful. You want to be nice. You want to treat that person with respect. So you never want to step over them. You don't want to interrupt them. And you just kind of hope that the meeting gets back on track. Hope is not a strategy. That's not good. You can still be respectful, but take control. You can't just hope that the subject goes your way, because it's never going to happen. Number two is you can forcefully step in and say, hey, we got to talk about this, right? We're talking about dashboards. I need to talk about your training that you've had in the past, or whatever it is that you need to talk about. Option number two is you're just going to jump in and interrupt and literally take control of the meeting. I like the spirit that you want to take control and you want to get things done. But you seem like a jerk when you do that. And if you take control without buy-in from the other person or the other people in the meeting, guess what they're going to do? They're just going to take control right back from you. So you're going to have this meeting where you're talking about your thing and then they're, we want to swap and talk about what we want to talk about. So option number three is what I'm going to teach you right now today. I'm going to teach you how to politely interrupt them. I'm going to teach you how to politely take control, but most importantly, you're going to get their buy-in. They're going to give you permission to retarget the subject of the meeting. So here's how you're going to take control. Now you need a couple tools. I've talked about these in other videos. You've got to have your sword, your pen, and your shield. It's vital for you to have this. I'll explain why. So during that meeting, during that call, whatever the setting is, virtual, live, face-to-face, over the phone, make sure that you have a sword and shield. Make sure that you have the ability to take notes. What you're going to be doing is writing down keywords. Keywords from discussion, keywords that the other side is speaking. Let's say they're talking about dashboards and you want to talk about the training programs that they've used in the past that didn't work. As you're going through that meeting, they're always going to touch on, or you're going to touch on, the subject that you want to talk about, right? So I asked them, so can you talk to me a little bit about the training programs that you've had in the past? They'll say something short like, yeah, we've had those. They didn't work. Make sure you're writing down. I'm writing down, training didn't work. You know, what we really want to talk about today, Matt, is the dashboards. We really want to focus on the dashboards. Now, all of a sudden, the conversation has gone the wrong way, but I've written down keywords here, dashboards, training, everything that they're saying. I'm writing down just a single keyword, almost a placeholder of what they said. Now, I want the meeting to go back to training that they've had in the past, and I wrote down that it didn't work, okay? So as they're talking about dashboards, let's say they've gone on for 10 minutes about dashboards, here's how I'm gonna get the subject to go back to the thing I want to talk about, which is training that they've had in the past didn't work. I'm going to ask them for permission to go back to that point in time and what they were talking about 10 minutes ago by way of what we call a no-oriented question. So I'm gonna pose it in the fact of, are you opposed? Are you against? I'm looking for them to say, no, I'm not opposed, or I'm not against. When you ask a no-oriented question, it's a lot easier to get the person to agree to the thing that you want them to do. It'll make a lot more sense here when I explain it. So let's say Tim has gone on now for 10 minutes about bits, bytes, and blinking lights and dashboards, and I want to talk about the training that they had that didn't work. It's going to sound, that no-oriented question is going to sound like this. I'm just going to look for an opportunity, a break in the conversation. They've been talking about dashboards for 10 minutes, and once I feel that break, I'm going to say something like this. Hey Tim, you had said something about 10 minutes ago that I'd like some clarity on. Are you opposed to us going back to that point in time so you can help me with what I missed? All right, now notice what I said there. I didn't say, hey Tim, I want to talk about the training that you've had that didn't work. I'm not bringing up the subject that I want to talk about. That's key, because I don't want them to approve or deny the subject. What I want is I want them to give me permission to basically rewind the conversation back to a point in time. So I'm simply going to say, hey Tim, you said something 10 minutes ago that I'd like some clarity on. You said something, just something, I'm not saying the subject, 10 minutes ago that I'd like some clarity on. Are you opposed to us going back to that point in time so you can help me with what I've missed? Notice how easy that is. When I say that, you almost in your head were like, yeah, no problem, sure, what is it? What did you miss? It makes it very easy. Now they've given us permission to go back in time. Okay, now I'm going to bring up the fact that I want to talk about what they had meant. I want to talk about their experience with training that they've had. I have the keyword right here. I can look at it right on my sheet. Training in the past didn't work. Here's how I'm going to ask them to give me more information and to talk about the training that they've had in the past that didn't work. So there's two different derivations that I can ask that will get Tim to talk about the subject that I want to talk about, which is the training that they've had in the past that didn't work. Here's the first one. Hey Tim, when you mentioned that you guys did training in the past and it didn't work, what did that mean to you? Let me repeat that for you. Hey Tim, and notice I'm looking down at my notes. I wrote down exactly what Tim said, training didn't work. When you said you've had some training in the past that didn't work, what did that mean to you? And now I'm allowing Tim to explain. Here's the second way that we can bring that up. Tim, when you said you've had some training in the past that didn't work, what should my expectation have been? Tim, when you said we had some training in the past that didn't work, what should my expectation have been? So you can take whatever the subject is. One's going to fit a little bit better than the other. Again, the first one is when you said blank, what did that mean to you? Or when you said blank, what should my expectation have been? Notice what we did there. I wrote down keywords, so I was always watching where the meeting was going. I was always writing down the subjects. When I found a subject that I wanted to talk more about, but they glossed over, I'm going to simply ask them for permission via no-oriented question. Then once they grant me permission, sure, yeah, what can I help you with? What did you miss? When you said blank, what should my expectation have been? Or when you said blank, what did that mean to you? We've now politely recaptured control of the situation. We've politely gotten them to give us permission, and we've changed the subject onto the area that we want to talk about, training that they've had in the past versus dashboard, and we've now taken control of that meeting. Hopefully this helps. I want you to use it in your next meeting. Let me know how it goes for you. And if you're interested in looking at our training programs for yourself or your team, there's a link to our training courses below. My name's Matt Easton. Hopefully I'll see you soon.